How's everyone doing? So this is my 11 a.m. message to Divine Masculine. So if you're a woman and you find yourself here, maybe you drawn here, you're in your masculine energy. And if you're a man, this should definitely resonate with you. Just gonna play out a few more tunes and then I'm gonna get right to it. Okay, tribe. So let me switch to my readers. You know, I'm an old man, so I need my readers so I can read these cards. Boom. There we go. All right, so Divine Masculine, I'm here. Pretty much let the cards do the talking. I got an oracle deck I'm going to be clarifying with, and I got 2 decks combined. 2 of my favorite decks that I used. I used these decks when I first started this work. Decks put in a lot of work with me and helped a lot of people out with these decks. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to lay a 5 card. And I'm going to clarify this. We're going to get into a message for my Divine Masculine. Justice. I love it. To the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Feels pretty good. Like I said, time is an illusion, you know. Man could be a woman could be a man. This is a masculine reading. 3 of Cups. It's like a pretty good reading. Okay, masculine. So I see my masculines in good standings right now. As far as this collective goes over here, Knave of Coins. A lot of women in masculine energy, I feel. Okay. To the 3 of Wands in reverse. All right. So I'm going to clarify these. I'm going to show you these cards as I go along. I got them on a desk. I couldn't fit the desk on because it would have been crammed. All right, so let's start right here. Justice to the abundance. So with this justice, I'm going to read the footnote. Truth, clarity, cause and effect, eternal justice, balance, fairness, and accountability. So, all right, my masculine, with this justice, I see is hard-earned, right? You could be a Libra and the energy this could resonate with a Libra. It doesn't have to be. Now, with this justice to the abundance, I feel like justice always brings in a sense of truth, but this is a deeper form of justice because it's like accountability attached to this justice. So I see you easily being in a place where you could have did some self-reflection and kind of realized where you went wrong at. And you could also be in a mode of truly forgiving people that done you wrong. I feel like as a man, masculine, or a woman in masculine energy that carries that type of energy, forgiveness is key. Not for the person who wronged you or whatever. Forgiveness is key for you to move on. It's impossible for you to move in, you know, powerful energy like you want to when you hold resentment and a lack of forgiveness. So I see somebody found justice in their forgiveness, bringing you in a sense of abundance. What is abundance to you? Because I notice like some people, they think abundance is things that show up in life that mean you're doing well. Things that reflect the image of doing well. That's not abundant. That will show up in your, if you, okay, spirit, I'm gonna take my time. So in the matter of material abundance, when you receive material abundance, God's blessing, it is. It should resonate as God's blessing. Now, when you get material abundance and then you lose sight of perspective or things like your intention, then your material abundance, is not, it's like a gift that becomes a curse, right? So abundance is not the material things. Abundance is the energy that God gives you to produce results, the ideas that God gives you, the balance that God, this is what abundance is. Abundance is all of those things that, see, thank you, Spirit. Abundance, if you're taking a shortcut, masculine, and it's creating the appearance of gain, is never abundant. Anytime you get something by way of shortcut, It has a clause to it. It's universal law. You got to get back what you put out. That's true. So if I shortcut my way to what I deem to be success, it's going to cost me. It's going to be a penalty attached to it. It's life, right? It's the laws of the universe. It's the laws of the spirit realm. However you want to identify it. But if you shortcut and then you gain from a shortcut, what appears to have you moving ahead or abundance to you, it doesn't become abundance. It becomes the same thing that holds you back. Now, when you earn, see, it's something about an earner, masculine. An earner in the spirit realm, even in the physical realm. You know, back in the old days for my masculine, like, you know, back in the Bumpy Johnson era and all of those, Frank Lucas and all those guys. Well, it was common back then. The value of an earner was understood. Like a person that was able to go earn, they had big respect. As above, so below. In the spirit, when you are an earner, you gain respect in the spirit realm. When you're a person that go and earn what you after. So I see somebody, and maybe you recognizing that, and maybe you going after it with this abundance. But I do gotta lay that out there because I know a lot of people look across at people in life, and they'll say, well, this person has this, or this person lives there, or this person doesn't have this, therefore they're not abundant. That's kind of a retarded notion because God has people where he has them for a reason. So if a person doesn't have what you deem to be abundant, you could be wrong about that. You know, abundance is the energy that God gives. That's what brings forth abundance. When people are truly abundant in life, look at what follows them. I'm talking about truly abundant. I'm not talking about rich with earthly things. That doesn't, like I said, that doesn't mean abundance. Like some of your superstars that you favor and that you mimic or whatever, some of my masculines, you know, they have things that they adapt. I know growing up, I used to listen to music, and I used to listen to a lot of Jay-Z in my era, you know, and it kind of shaped my drive, you know. So taking into consideration, right, what true abundance is, right? Abundance is not the illusion. Abundance is the energy that the Most High gives us to go out and create, to go out and manifest, to go out and make things happen. That's abundance. So I see you have that with the justice. So we got the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to clarify that. So if you just stepped on, this is a 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Divine Masculine reading. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune being clarified by peace, which is great energy. When I see the Wheel of Fortune and I see the peace, it means to me that somebody, you whatever you did or whatever you are attempting to do that I'm hearing, right, it's going to line you up with a certain peace with the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune and peace is like, it's like a peace that you come into, right? And I do feel because, all right, when you're dealing with the Wheel of Fortune, you're dealing with a bunch of events that occur in life. That's the Wheel of Fortune energy, right? Some ups, some downs, topsy-turvies. But when you're dealing with the Wheel of Fortune energy, you're dealing with all of these events that occur in life. They working towards a purpose, if you allow them to. So I feel like with this peace, somebody begins to understand that. Justice to the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe you came out of a situation and it was topsy-turvy. And maybe now you in a situation where it could be set at calmer waters, right? But maybe when you look back, you can see like so many things that happened that led you to this point. And it's peaceful in that. I can tell you that myself. Like when I look back sometimes at all of the chaos that I was in that surrounded my life, I can clearly see that, oh, all of that happened and it was shaping me, it was molding me, it was getting me to this point where I'm at now, where life is peaceful, you know? So I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. Okay, and that I do like because that's also a person that comes into kind of like what I would consider supreme understanding. That's the understanding. Like when you know how they say, "Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." That's supreme understanding. When you get to a place where you can really begin to release things from a deeper level, because sometimes in life, let's say in regards to people, we'll be connected to people, and we'll be connected to them in such a way where it could literally be it could be a dangerous element, right? So what we do when we separate from them, we often underestimate the connection. Like we think because we live here and they're over there that we safe. No, this is somebody that realized, no, I need to do something deeper. Like somebody, maybe a cord severing cleanse you did. Maybe some form of prayer that you did on a deeper level because you realized that you were still connected to whatever was over there, whatever it was, right? When you come to that, that's when you attain peace because you begin to release, you begin to say, all right, I realize this thing doesn't have me, I have it. So that understanding, that's Wheel of Fortune to the peace, and that's very big because, like I said, it's a series of events in this Wheel of Fortune, ups and downs, right? So moving right along, we got the Three of Cups. I'm gonna clarify that. It feels good though. Let's see what comes out. Self-esteem. You know, I feel good about that. Three of Cups to the self-esteem. It's a celebration of self. It's one who has regained the value. Regain value, I'm hearing. Regain value, I mean by your own merit, in your own eyes. Your self-esteem is important. So when I see Three of Cups to the self-esteem, I do see self-love. And you know, I definitely see ancestral celebration in this energy because you'd be amazed at how much the energies around you that move with you in your life, when you begin to make decisions and you begin to show yourself love, they celebrate you because you become perhaps something different than they were. You ever think of that? Like when you look back in your lineage and you see how many people they succumbed to different things, it made them transition or whatever it may be. Well, they never really had a chance to explore themselves, right? So they never really had a chance to find out what God is allowing you to find out. So you become celebrated and you feel it. That's what the connection is. When you truly have a gift, you know, outside of what people label that they don't understand, like you have spiritual connections, you have ancestral connections. They are very real in life. This world trains us to ignore these things. So when we ignore them, we age in life wrong. We age systematically, right? The system says at this age you should be right here. So here you are right here, right? Well, when you begin to break out of that and you begin to realize that the time that they set forth is an illusion and you start living a different way, you have connections to ancestors that move with you. They celebrate you. Some even wake up. When you move right, you actually wake up high vibrational because let's be real, we born into these vessels with karmic debt. That's why the Bible says each man is born into the world with sin. You come with a karmic debt. So as you live throughout your life, you have extremely high vibrational ancestors with you. But the more you do, that suggests that you're not going to live up to who you are, they'll move away from you. So that energy essentially becomes asleep. Now, when you start living a different way, you awaken those energies around you because you begin to be celebrated. You begin to feel this. Like it's something that you can feel. A lot of people, they won't feel it, but they don't work. They don't. It's not. It's not witchery. First of all, we dealing with. This is not witchery. This is life. Every day you live, when you wake up in this vessel, you have energies around you that are present. Right? Now, according to the frequency you live life on, that's what you're attracting in your auric field. Whatever way you live, whatever you project masculine is what you attract, right? Those are the energies. So when you start living high vibrational, you start attracting high vibrational ancestral energies around you. It's the truth. And somebody knows that because you walking in self-esteem to the Three of Cups. So I say self-love, celebration, right? Support. This is the footnotes. Support, sharing, celebration, problem solution, gladness, bounty, joy, friendship, and society. Even became a problem solver, I'm hearing, which is good. This is for my masculines, right? You could be a woman in masculine energy. All the decision making could be on you. Well, I see you finding out a new way to solve a problem. And it entails self-esteem attached to it. So perhaps somebody let something go, right? You know how we get trapped in a hustle, or somebody could have been in a certain way, and it could have caused you to have low self-esteem, but I see you let it go, and you're being celebrated by you and others, which is good. It's great energy. You know, it was a time in my life where I used to make a lot of money and I lived an immoral life. My moral ethics, right? They didn't line up. They were not in alignment. But I thought that, I knew that what I was doing, it was causing me to have a low self-esteem because I began to believe that, this is the only way that I can manage out here. Well, once I began to develop self-esteem truly, I began to let things go, and then I began to allow God to send things through the universe because I was attracting them, right? I was attracting a better way. I was attracting better things simply by switching my moral code, by saying, look, I ain't willing to do that no more. Right. I know I had to suffer, right? Like, going from designer shirts to shirts from Walmart, right? It was a humbling experience. But the one thing I did learn is that I found so much more fulfillment in the shirts from Walmart than the designer. Like when I used to be able to buy designer shirts all the time, you know what I would do? I would wear them, then I would throw them everywhere, right? And I'm still pretty junky with clothes, but it was worse. Sometimes I would look at all of the clothes I had and be like, I can't resell none of it. What is the point of it? Like, so God allowed me to move my moral code. See, and it's crazy because I oftentimes speak, one time, my life, right? And this is a complexity of life, and I'm gonna share this. One time in life, y'all, I was able to I was attending meetings and services and all of that, and I was wearing like $1,000 suits or more. Like I was but I was getting it for free. But when I was getting these suits, like I was getting all type of suits, Gucci suits, Louis Vuitton suits. I was just getting nice suits, right? So much so I used to sell them to others. I was getting them for free. Now, when I used to do this, right, do you know that I became so decadent in my spirit on a level that I never even could comprehend? And you know why I was able to do it? because every day it got to a point where I wore a suit to work every day, right? Every day. Nice tie, handkerchief. I was sharp, right, as a tat. And people immediately, once I switched into that energy, people assumed I was doing great. I'm talking about people assumed I was doing the greatest, like I could do no wrong. Even down to religious folk. Religious folk was like, oh, you sharp, you looking good, you doing good now. God is good to you. But the reality of it is, I was worse. I was worse at that point than I had ever been, because I was able to I was living behind a disguise, right? So that goes to show you how, images are illusions. True self-esteem is what amounts to the celebration of oneself. True self-esteem. Not willing to be the guy that's running around in a suit but being decadent, or the woman that's in this form masculine, right? You know? Okay. We got the Knave of Coins to the service. I feel good when I can help others. So I kind of see you like, for my masculine, maybe you're a person where helping others, it does lead to a childlike energy, right? You know how it's common for masculine energy to feel needed, like, and I feel like it's okay to feel needed with a balance, with a right balance. But I feel like it's good for you to feel like you want to do things for people, right? Knave of Coins to the service, and maybe there's an exuberance about it. I honestly feel like somebody, that's the way you receive your blessing, and you know it. And I can understand that, because I know some people in my life. I'm not like that, but I know a person in life that gives a lot. And when they first started giving, I knew this person for a very long time. And when we were young and they used to give, I used to be like, why are they giving away so much of what they have, right? But this person has so much now, right? And I know, and this person knows, because they say it to me all the time. I still watch them give. I'm talking about a person who I literally watched them give their whole check to a cause at one time. And I was like, yo, this person crazy, right? And not only did they give it, they gave it in childlike energy. Like, yeah, I'm putting up my whole check, right? I want to get this thing moving. I didn't have that type of energy in me, but I watched it and I didn't understand it. But when I seen it bring forth a blessing in that person's life, I began to understand it. And maybe you are masculine that understand that. Knave of Coins to the service. I feel good when I can help others. That's the footnote. And you should feel good. It's your method. Like, everybody got a method. A method to life, a method to what they do. And the method of a giver is always going to produce results where that person is going to be in a position to receive. That's the laws of the universe. Reap what you sow. So if you always giving, you definitely going to always be receiving. And a person who doesn't give, they will never understand that. Like, some people don't understand, like even people like myself. I give. I'm a giver. I give in one of the greatest ways that a human could give. It does fall on deaf ears. It does lead to frustration. But one thing I can tell you is that God gives to me. Because I give, God gives to me in so many ways you couldn't even imagine. If I could tell you some of the ways that God gives, you would be like, wow, right? I'm talking about God. In my case, God is even giving back life. And that's big. I'm talking about a person headed for death and God gives them back life, right? So I know, me giving the way that I give, of myself, God gives to me. But you have people that don't comprehend that. Some people, they like, why does he do that? Or what does he do that? They don't understand that it's very much a method. It's sincere, but it's something that I understand. So I'm able to move in that understanding of, look, give and receive. Right? It's the laws of the universe. That's why some people, they never have anything, because when they give like reluctantly. Like they give, it's the type of person that they'll send you like $27 as opposed to sending you $30, right? Because that's a person that don't really want to send it from the jump. So, it's like that kind of energy, but that's the kind of energy that doesn't lead. It's breadcrumb energy. And that's what it leads to, breadcrumb energy. God says give solid and give whole, right? Now, 3 of Wands in reverse to the worry. Now, I'm going to tell you what this is before I get off of here. This is a person that you're in a place where you can't see what's coming. It's called the unknown, and it may have you worried. I would suggest to you that you don't fret, right? If you are a person that has put time and effort into your life, first of all, not your belief, your life. You put time and work and effort into your life. And life has you at a place where you questioning now your moves, right? Instead of trying to move forward with the worry and move forward with the questions, stop at your place of worry, literally, and look back on the work you've done. Just go backward instead of going forward, because when you're 3 of Wands in reverse, you can't see your ships coming in. So for somebody, because it's in reverse, you're in a place of doubt and worry. Instead of worrying, right? Spirit says, stop. Don't move forward with the worry, because worry gonna beget worry. You gotta stop and reflect back. This for somebody who already put work in. Once you reflect back, you can oftentimes get a better image of where you're going forward. Sometimes, you got to reflect. And you got to introspect. Meaning not only do you got to reflect back on the events that happened, you got to reflect back on the state of self. Like, when this happened, where was I at? Like, especially with worry. Think about when I worried last time, what did it get me? Where did I get? Spirit says begin to reflect and understand, because worry is also an illusion. Worry is associated with fear, right? It's not, worrying is not based upon something that's actually real all the time. Like the outcome that you perceive, that doesn't have to be the reality. It's your worry, and worry can manifest the worst of your realities if you worry. That's why worry is not good. Worry is assimilated to sin, because worry leads to sinful behavior. It does. When you worry a lot, you begin to you sin even against your own self, because you start moving wrong. 3 of Wands in reverse. So I want somebody to kind of like balance yourself out and don't worry, and don't move ahead with worry. Again, do some self-reflection. Look backward before you go ahead. Okay, that was your reading, Divine Masculine. I'm out of here. My job is done. We'll see you all a little bit later on. And God bless you all. Oh, for those of you who would like to donate, the Cash App is on the page. And pretty much that's it. I love you all.